Hello and welcome to another episode of Sus Faction.
Today is an Acela-centric episode, and I'm Kyle.
And I'm Isella,
And
and
we're
we're
your
your
hosts.
hosts. So, I'm going to start this one. I have a little intro for these next 4 episodes that we're going to do. So, I wrote an intro specific to these because it's like a mini series.
Oh, okay.
Is what we're presenting. So, powerful people have powerful beliefs, but even more so, our beliefs hold power. Throughout time, there have been objects that people have placed their beliefs in. This episode is the first of our Objects of Power series. Today we will talk about the Spear of Destiny.
Yes.
What do you know about the Spear of Destiny?
I just know that it was the spear that stabbed Jesus while he was on the crucifix, and um, that was supposed to be his the death strike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the one, like what killed him officially.
Okay.
And that it's powerful because it got the blood of Christ spilled on it. So it's like supposedly.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that is probably more than what most people know about the Spear of Destiny because we went to Catholic school. So you learned a little bit in school. This is not a topic most schools cover.
No.
So the Spear of Destiny, also known as the Holy Lance or the Spear of Longinus, is one of the most legendary relics in Christendom. It is said to be the weapon used by a Roman soldier to pierce the side of Jesus Christ as he hung on the cross. According to the Gospel of John, chapter 19, verses 33 and 34, Roman soldiers saw that Jesus was already dead and did not break his legs, as was part of this gruesome ritual, if those crucified were taking too long to die. The way crucifixion worked was to kill those sentenced by suffocation. They would be secured to the cross with arms outstretched. Whether nailed or tied is something that's been debated for eons, but
Yeah.
they were secured to the cross with their arms outstretched, and they need to lift themselves using their arms, and their feet are on a small step. So using their arms and their feet to take a breath. Now, their feet are also nailed to the step, so that's painful as well. This was exhaustive, and usually those crucified would eventually get too tired to lift themselves to breathe and would suffocate. You have a nail.
Yeah.
Those who would take too long to suffocate would have their legs broken to speed up this barbaric and gruesome process. So instead, according to the Gospel of John, one soldier pierced Jesus' side with a spear, quote, from which blood and water flowed. So, that's the story from the Bible. And then also a little bit of historical context on how crucifixion worked.
Yeah.
And it's very gruesome, hard to watch. I think that what was that movie? The Passion of the Christ.
I was just gonna say the Passion of the Christ was awful.
It was hard to watch, and imagine being someone's loved one that is going through that barbaric process.
Oh my God, I can't imagine.
It has to be heartbreaking. Just almost impossible to be there for such a thing.
Right.
So, notice I said some Roman historical texts corroborate the crucifixion story, and Longinus, although not named in the gospel, is the soldier who pierced Jesus' side. The legend says that he was nearly blind, but when Christ's blood touched his eyes, he was healed, making him a believer. He was also later condemned to death for his beliefs, so he died a martyr.
Oh.
Legend states that whoever possesses the spear holds the fate of the world in their hands, yielding invincibility to those who use it for good, but certain doom to those who lose it.
I thought that it was like you don't want to mess with this spear kind of item. Like I thought that it was um treacherous, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're not wrong. There is a story, and I'm gonna go kind of chronologically. So when I get to that story, I'll point it back out that that's probably where you heard this from, because this the figure that story is around is one that I'm sure a lot of us have heard of. So,
I mean, I guess it depends on who wields it too.
exactly, that is exactly right. It has to be wielded for good, because if you use it for evil, you know, different things can happen.
Yeah.
So historical figures like Charlemagne, Frederick Barbarossa, Napoleon, and even Hitler wanted to possess the spear. I will start with Constantine. Nope, sorry. First, let's talk about Longinus. So, after Jesus' crucifixion, Longinus held on to the spear for a while. In his um, conversion and his life as a Christian, he continued to wield the spear. And when he was um, martyred, put to death for his beliefs as a Christian, he then passed the spear on to Saint Maurice, who gave it to Constantine the Great, the first Roman emperor to convert to Christianity. And he claimed to have inherited the spear of destiny in 306 AD.
Oh wow, that's such a long time ago.
Yes. And then after
How stupid.
Constantine, this is where you'll get that story about your intentions with the spear. Attila the Hun was thought to have seized the relic in 450 AD. He and his plague-ridden army returned to Rome with the lance, threw it to the ground, claiming, quote, "It is no use to me, since I do not know him, capital H, that made it holy," unquote. So his army was cursed for stealing the spear, because not only did they not know Jesus, they didn't believe in Jesus, and they were going to use it for evil.
Oh shit.
So that's where that story comes from. Your intentions are very important with the spear. Okay. After Attila the Hun, Theodoric the First grabbed the spear after Attila threw it and took it to battle against Attila, and he forced Attila the Hun to retreat for his very first time. So Attila the Hun and his army retreated from the battle for the very first time in his entire career, because Theodoric had the spear. Now, Theodoric did also die in that battle.
Okay.
But
Attila the Hun gave him
Attila the Hun was done.
He pretty much gave him the ammo he needed to get rid of him.
Yeah. Yep. And then we have, sorry, when I tell you we dive down the rabbit hole for you, I dove deep into the rabbit hole for this stuff. All right. So then after Theodoric, we have Charles Martel. He is credited with halting the Islamic expansion into Europe at the Battle of Tours in 732. And he claimed to have received the spear from Archbishop Milo, along with the papal banner of Pope Constantine, not the same Constantine as before,
right?
Of Pope Constantine. And then from there, I was chasing the spear all over the place. From there, it went to Charlemagne in 769 AD. Charlemagne was Holy Roman Emperor. He wielded the spear during 47 successful military campaigns. And then he dropped it and died the same day.
Oh, wow.
After Charlemagne, we have Otto the Great. He's a German king and Holy Roman Emperor in the 10th century. So in 955 AD, the spear was used to christen Otto as Roman Emperor by Pope John XII. And then in 936 AD, Henry I of Germany was holding the spear during a battle, dropped it, and died shortly after. Yep. This is where the legends come from. So, Frederick Barbarossa. Did I say him already?
Yeah.
I did.
No, you didn't
I
mention.
didn't.
You
Okay.
mentioned his name, but you didn't tell us about him.
Frederick Barbarossa, the first leader of the Holy Roman Empire, attributed his military success to the spear also. According to myth, he died just after dropping the lance, or the Holy Lance, in a river. And that was in the 12th century. So he also died after dropping.
Well, it says in that, like, what is it? Something to those who lose it.
Yeah, doom to those who lose it. Certain doom.
Oh.
Okay. After Frederick Barbarossa, I said it right that time. Charles the Fourth. This guy. I had so much trouble finding out how he used the spear, but he didn't actually use it in battles. This guy was really different. So in 1354, we've kind of gone forward a bit. 1354, Charles IV, King of Bohemia, brandished the spear in public. It is said that the way he brandished it showed his knowledge and mysticism of the object. So he knew that having it was important, but he didn't want to risk losing it. So he didn't use it in battles. He didn't, he just kept it around himself. He also was a big believer that the apocalypse was going to happen in his lifetime. So there was a lot of pilgrimages from others to come and see him and all the relics he collected. He collected a lot of Christian relics. So the spear it's also a relic because it contains the blood of Christ. After Charles IV passed, he just died he was sick. So his didn't come from losing the spear.
Dropping the spear.
He passed the spear on to his son, who then took it to Nuremberg, where it kind of lived until 1938. So, well, actually, there was a brief interruption. Napoleon sought to possess the spear and believed it would make him invincible. So he was determined to capture it after the Battle of Austerlitz in 1805. But it had been smuggled out before the battle. So they took it and hid it from Napoleon.
Right.
But then they brought it back to Nuremberg afterwards. So then it was in Nuremberg, which is where it lived, on public display as a centerpiece of the imperial treasury. Until, let's see. Hitler reportedly became obsessed after seeing it in the Hofburg Museum in Vienna in 1912. He was really young when he first saw the spear, but became obsessed. Following the annexation of Austria in 1938, he had it moved, where it was eventually recovered by American forces. So it says the American soldiers found the spear in an underground hideout. General George Smith Patton had to resist the temptation to take it back to the U.S. Eventually, there was an order to return the artifact to Austria. In January 1946, General Eisenhower followed orders and returned the spear and the rest of the Hausenberg imperial regalia to the Austrian government, and it has been permanently housed at the Hofburg Palace in Vienna on display to this day. So that's where it is now. And that's where it's been.
Okay, I was going to say, where is it now?
That's where it is now. Supposedly. So there are actually 3 other major relics claiming to be the spear. They all have the same identity. Yes. This is a whirlwind of information. But
goodness.
The Vatican spear at St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, Italy, is one. The Armenian spear at Ekmedzin Monastery in Vagersfort. See, I could say that one. The other word was harder. The Krakow spear, a replica of the spear containing a small fragment of the Vienna spear, which is the one that um, all of supposedly passed down in the stories that I gave you, was the
Yeah.
Vienna spear. The Vienna spear. The Krakow spear has a piece of it, a fragment of it, held at the Wawel Cathedral in Poland. So, how do we know what spear is the right spear?
Right. How do we know? Do we?
We don't, but they have done some scientific testing, and carbon dating and whatever you want to call it, just to figure out how old the relic is. And the Vienna spear, they did the testing in 2003. I'm sorry. The Vienna spear actually shows that the blade is from the 7th or 8th century, which makes it too new.
Yeah.
But if you'll remember, Charlemagne supposedly held it in the 8th or 9th century, and he was one of the first Roman, so he could have had it repaired, which could be why. Now, however, there is a pin in the spear, a pin. You can't see me. Air quotes, pin, a pin in the spear that is thought to be a nail from the cross. That piece of metal, that nail, now being called the Holy Nail, not to be confused with the Holy Grail, the Holy Nail is from the 1st century. It is dated back that far. So that
Really?
could actually be from the crucifixion.
Oh, wow.
So even though Charlemagne may have repaired the spear at some point, and that's why the metal is older,
Right.
it does still have that original piece in it. The Spear of Destiny is a staple of pop culture. Its presence stems from the legend that Adolf Hitler was obsessed with it, and leading to its frequent use in Nazi occultism. So I don't know if you've seen it in any of these, but it was in the 2005 movie Constantine. DC's Legends of Tomorrow, season 2 is entirely about the Spear of Destiny. They have the legends chasing down every piece of the spear. So the spear's been broken into 3 pieces because after World War II with Adolf Hitler, they wanted to make sure that the spear couldn't be used. So it was broken into 3 pieces. And the legends are fighting against a group of villains called the Legion of Doom.
Of course.
It's DC. So the Legion of Doom. And the Legends of Tomorrow are gathering the pieces of the spear so that the Legion can't have it. And that's what like the entire 2nd season of Legends of Tomorrow is about.
Gotcha.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny 2023 release. It attempts to retrieve it to later discover that it's a fake. And I'm sure that comes from the fact that there are 4 spears. So I'm sure that's where that was inspired from. In Hellboy 2004, they mentioned it briefly as a supernatural artifact. I don't remember that part, but it was brief, so I guess that's why. And then in anime and gaming, there's several mentions. 2 that I know personally would be Tomb Raider Chronicles and Final Fantasy.
I played Tomb Raider. I played the crap out of Tomb Raider. I was a Tomb Raider freak. But it's in Legion, too.
Okay. I think that was mentioned.
The Angel movie where it's like literally all about getting the Spear of Destiny back from this guy that...
Oh.
Yeah. He like finds it in a dig.
Okay.
And it turns him evil.
Oh.
Like, I don't know. It's weird. But Legion, the angel comes down and it's the whole thing.
I remember the movie or the series?
The movie.
Okay. There was a series and I never finished it. Briefly. I think it was based off of the movie because I had a lot of similar actors and similar name, premise.
Yeah.
But okay. So that finally brings us to comics and literature. They have mentions of magical sphere, not spear, the sphere in
Sphere.
a sphere of destiny in the DC universe, and a short story in Doctor Who that involves Longinus.
Oh, wow.
So
I'm not
it's
a big Doctor Who fan, but I know that a lot of people are.
oh, I
So.
know a lot of people are too. I'm not. I think I've only seen one episode actually.
Well.
So it was, I mean, I could get into it, but it was like an episode in the middle of some season in the middle. It like wasn't a beginning get to know it type of show, so I didn't stick with it. All right, so the lore, the myth, the truth. So we have rumors circulate about Hitler using the spear in rituals. This information is often contested. He did display it during rallies when he had it, but didn't use it in any sort of occult rituals that anyone's willing to admit to.
Right.
I have to throw that in there because they interviewed people and they were like, no, I never saw it. Like, yeah. So, however, Heinrich Himmler, the head of the SS, was the primary driver of occult interest. He was one of the most powerful men in the Nazi party after Hitler. I was like, who's this? What? So I figured if I'm the one who's like, who is this? I'm sure there's other people that are like, who?
Yeah.
So, yes, Heinrich Himmler. Apparently very close to Hitler, like almost number 2 to Hitler.
Oh, wow.
But he did have occult interest and used a spear related he used spear related imagery in his ceremonies at Wewelsburg Castle, which he envisioned as a spiritual center for his knightly order. Which I'm like, do I need to do a study on Nazis? Because I don't know any of this stuff.
Right.
So the myth is that whoever holds the spear is invincible, but its loss leads to immediate death. If you'll remember, both Charlemagne Barbarossa died after dropping the spear in battle. Coincidentally, Hitler committed suicide less than 2 hours after the spear was captured by U.S. forces.
Wow.
So, I think that's all I have. Yes, that is. I had everything all out of order because I added more at the end. But have you watched Supernatural?
No.
Okay. There's an episode of Supernatural that just kept popping in my brain while I was writing and researching this. Mostly the like, if you have it, it's great, and if you lose it, you're dead. There was a rabbit's foot episode. There's a rabbit's foot episode in Supernatural where I'm going to give you a little foreshadowing here, but we're going to be talking about Dybbuk boxes. There's a rabbit's foot locked in a Dybbuk box in the storage unit that Sam and Dean's dad used to have.
Okay.
So there's a box, a mysterious box with it's like locked by a spell, like a Dybbuk box. And someone steals it and they open it. And inside is a rabbit's foot. And they're like, what? A rabbit's foot? And of course they grab it, not thinking, why was it locked in this box in the first place? But they grab it and it brings them luck and they're, having a great time, but then they lose it and then they're impaled.
Oh my gosh.
And then is it Sam or Dean? I can't remember which one of them has it. It's Sam. Sam has the rabbit's foot. And he's got all this luck, and Dean's like, here, scratch the scratcher. Like, let's get some money. And then Sam loses the rabbit's foot.
Oh God.
And his shoe's untied. Or no. He comes out of the restaurant or somewhere. He comes out and steps on some gum. And he's trying to scrape the gum off of his shoe, but he finds an open sewer grate, and he's like using the edge of the sewer grate to scrape the gum off his shoe. And meanwhile, Dean's talking, and then they cut back to Sam, and he's standing there like a little child, and he's like, I lost my shoe. And so it just makes me think of that because they have it, things are going great, and then in the case of the spear, they die. In the
Yeah.
case of the rabbit's foot, they, you know,
Get gum on their shoe and
they
then lose
yeah, they
it
have
in
some pretty
and
bad luck and some
they're
of them
super
die.
great.
So, but yes, this is the first episode of our Objects of Power series, Spear of Destiny. There was a lot more there than what I thought there was going to be.
Yeah.
And we're going to discuss 3 others. Kyle's going to share with you about the Hope Diamond and Dybbuk boxes, which I already
Yes.
named. And the other one I will share will be the Holy Grail. And I know just by the name, it's going to be a lot of information.
Oh my God. Duh.
So,
It's going to be a long one.
yeah. So join us again next week for another episode. We post every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, trust no one.
Question everything. Now, also, if you want to reach us and send in your own stories for us to read on the podcast, you can reach us at susfactionpod@outlook.com. Again, if you want to reach us and send us your stories for us to read on the podcast, you can reach us at susfactionpod@outlook.com. And we do have an Instagram.
Our Instagram is at susfactionpod. We post a teaser for the weekly episode on Monday evenings. And you can access the links for all of our I don't know what you want to call them, where all the places you can listen, I guess. Amazon, Spotify, and YouTube. We also have a Patreon where you can access our monthly episode. And the episode for March will be the true story of natural born killers.
Sweet.
So you'll be able to see that or listen to that at the end of the month. And the reason I said see that is because I am planning on doing videos for our Patreon episode coming soon.
Coming soon. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.